How to fix a round London broil. Not everybody knows what to do with the London broil. They're usually about 1.5 inches thick. And you just make some diagonal lines in it. Now a lot of people like to marinate a piece of meat like this, which is fine and dandy. We like the absolute taste of the beef, but we like to give it a little bit of punch. And what we do is put our favorite barbecue sauce on it. Get it over here in the light. And what we do is open up these grooves and pour barbecue sauce in it. Now this was a sharp knife, cut up about 1/3 to halfway through this piece of meat. And then you salt and pepper it, and you put it in the oven on broil on the high rack. If your oven, the meat should be about 3 to 4 inches from the broil rack, and you don't want it closer than that. And you cook it once the broiler has reached its temperature and the light's going out on your stove. You cook it for, you put your barbecue sauce in it, or you put your marinated piece of meat here. You season it with salt and pepper, and you put it under the broiler. In 5 minutes, you turn it over and season it salt and pepper in 5 minutes. And you cut across the grain in real thin slices, and it really tastes great and tender. Next thing we're going to have is some green peas. And we take a piece of onion, sweet onion about that size and that thickness, and we chop it up and put about 2 pats of butter. And then we put about 1/4 cup of water in it after this is sauteed, 1/4 to 1/3 of a cup, and put these peas in it. And once that water has reached temperature and boiling, you put the peas in it, and you put the lid on it, and you cook it for 5 to 6 minutes, and don't go longer or it'll be overcooked. And here's 1 cup of rice. That's 2 cups of water. We've got a pat of butter to help keep the rice from sticking. A little bit of salt in the water to taste. Bring this to a boil. Take your rice and put it in a fine strainer and run water through it to get some of the starch out of it. And if you have a spray nozzle, it just flex this sifter around and spray it real hard. Get the water to stop dripping out of it. Once this water boils, put it in here. Take something like a wooden spoon or wooden thing like that and stir it as soon as you put it in there, because rice has a tendency to stick when initially put in a pan of hot water. And make sure you'll feel it with this sticking, and after a while you'll feel it's not sticking. And once you feel it's not sticking, put the lid on it, lower the temperature to simmer 25 minutes. That's what's going to take the longest. This is going to take 5 to 6, and this is going to take 10. And my bride's going to call here in a little bit, and she'll have about 25 to 30 minutes before she gets home, and this will be ready to eat. London broil, green peas and rice. And that's what the London broil looks like, with their barbecue sauce down in the grooves and salt and peppered, ready to go. I await my bride's phone call. If you haven't broiled a lot with your oven, you might want to turn the light on and check it from time to time in case you're too close to the burner on the top of the inside your oven. And watch your hand when you reach in and out that close, because when it burns you, you're burned. That piece of iron element is red hot when it broils, and there's no pulling your hand away quick. Well, the London broil is done. These are the well done pieces on the end. Then you get a little medium, and then you get rare like my bride likes it, and then as it gets toward the smaller piece, it can be more well done. Peas, rice. Put some meat on her plate. And my bride's finished plate.